Hey everybody, this is Gogok7 and welcome to version 0.6 of the Livestream Production Manager, my software to update all my overlays during tournaments. Now, if you're here for Mario Kart content, it's coming soon. I made an update video on New Year's Eve where I go over what Mario Kart content you're going to be getting, but for today, it's all about the Livestream Production Manager because a new version has arrived. Now, this is version 0.6 and by itself, as you can see, it is a huge update that I can barely fit the update notes on my screen. However, it gets even worse. There was a version 0.51, 0.52 and 0.53 released before a 0.6. So we're gonna go over all the changes of 0.5.2, which was the important one where I actually made good improvements, and then I'm gonna go over version 0.6, all the differences. Now let me select a game or a series, a game and a format. So now I've implemented something which I call focus toggles, and what these do is for a certain manager, like the competitors manager, it completely disables all the monitors and the preview, and it just hides them so that you can focus on filling in these form inputs, and you can manage a good overlay. Because for some people, me as well, I have OBS in studio mode, so pretty much have a built-in preview of what the scoreboard is going to look like, so I don't really need that preview inside Livestream Production Manager as well. There's also a focus toggle for competitors and also one for tournaments, which hides these WebSocket clients monitor and the error monitor. Only toggle that one if you're absolutely sure about that there's no bugs, that security and all that is implemented correctly. Let's see. So I changed a little bit how the WebSocket communication works, and I am going to change that a little bit further in future versions. But the nicest thing that that came from that is that the Fighting Games Manager itself, which is this entire web page, is added very nicely to this WebSocket client's monitor, which wasn't the case before. It was a little bit ugly, in my opinion. And for Smash, or actually for all formats that support crew battles, if I get the crew players, these little checkboxes are now properly styled to always be properly centered under their label. You know, a small aesthetic change. They were always off-centered a little bit. I fixed that for version 0.52, which was a small fixes release. So I think I've gone over the important things of version 0.52. Another thing is that switching these competitors or these commentators around, the code for that has been a little bit improved, should work a little bit faster and a little bit less prone to errors. So that's 0.5.2 covered, the most important things, the things that I can visually show. Now let's go for 0.6. Let's see. For Smash, the new characters that have been announced have been added. You know, Byleth, Terry, Banjo, Hero, and I think I've gone over them all. They were all added, and the application is ready to easily add the next few, you know, the next Fighters Pass characters, the next 6. They're prepared for that. Now, I also removed some formats that just weren't being used, namely Iron Man, big teams and Smashdown have all been removed from Smash Brothers, from the Smash Brothers series, because they just weren't used at all. They had no reason to exist anymore. Now, another big thing is I added Twitch input to the singles format, so you can fill in and show on screen if you customize your overlay the Twitch channel of the competitors, maybe put it in a slideshow, like Fiji Bootcamp does. And also I added support for countries, so you can select the country that a player is from. However, this is not included in the default overlay yet. This will change in the future. But country support was something that was at the very last moment requested by a tournament, so I added it in. It is a full feature, tested, doesn't have bugs, works in overlays. It's just not supported in the default overlay right now in Smash. It is in another game, and that other game is Tekken. I now support Tekken. Now, a unique thing about the support for Tekken, it actually supports country flags, like you see right here. But something unique about it is that Tekken is pretty much classified in the software as a traditional fighting game. So, and now all games that fall under the umbrella of a traditional fighting games can now be easily, like really easily, be added to Livestream Production Manager. Street Fighter is not fully supported right now, but it would take barely any code changes, maybe none at all, to fully support Street Fighter games in the future. But right now, it was Tekken was the game that is popular in my country besides Smash, so it is the one I focused on. But future games that are 1 versus 1, traditional in that sense, of one character versus one character, that is supported in Livestream Production Manager now. Let's see. So, Tekken supports singles and crews, and it has countries. However, there's something really cool that I think is going to be very useful for absolutely everyone that uses this application. I think I'll show this off with Tekken instead, because I can do get latest and everything is filled in. So let's say, and this is a great feature for me, I'm very excited for this. So let's say a set is going on, but the TO has already queued up the next few sets that you're going to be streaming in the future, in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. He has already queued up a few of those. You can already prepare that set, which is a very cool thing. So this is called the queue of the upcoming sets, the next sets. So what you can do here is, give me a few seconds to fill this in. Let's make this best of 5. Let's make this Winners round 3. I'm only going to be filling in the name of some Tekken players, and I guess I'll do their country of Netherlands. So I have the upcoming set that the TO prepared for me in this hypothetical situation already queued up. And so what I can do now is, let's say the match between X Magna and Gogoku 7 just finished. All I need to do is click this new set button, which is also a new feature. I'm showing off 2 new features at the same time right now. I can click new sets, and now everything has been emptied, like the reset the defaults button, but it is done a little bit more a little bit better, like a little bit more useful for your workflow, because the most important fields are now pulsating. You know, the round, best of, name, and the names. These are the most important and change across sets like 99% of the time. So these are pulsating, and if I click on them, the pulsating will go away because it assumes that you filled it in. But what I can do now is I've created this set, and I can click on the import button, and the set that I already prepared 5 minutes ago is now imported into the managed competitors, in the competitors manager. And I can just click submit, and there we go. So I can do work while the set is busy, while the set is going on, and I'm just having downtime. I can already prepare the next set, or the next 3 sets. I can do all that. And in this next sets manager, I have a switch left and right button. I can move them up and down. I can submit this, and the purpose of this submit button is that maybe one day, like it's probably going to be the next version, you can submit this to an overlay that is like an next set is Karmakens versus Pagani overlay, or a next set is Team Netherlands versus Team USA, something like that. So that is going to be in a future version. It's not supported yet. Well, technically you could make one, but it's not 100% foolproof. So that is the new set functionality, which I'm very excited for. This saves me a lot of time. It's just, I'm very excited for it. So let's see, for Smash, let's go back to Smash. I've earlier showed you that I support player Twitch in singles, but also now player Twitter and player Twitch in doubles. This wasn't the case before. Let's see. Now, another thing that you might have already noticed is as you hover over these important buttons on the Fighting Games Manager, you get a small little explanation of what this button does. And this is useful for when, let's see, you have the when you have a very small screen, you know, a 1080p screen, and you can only use the left side of it. You can just hover over the button and see, okay, here's a little explanation. Let's see, another thing, small thing. For settings, I now have this cool little icon, and that hovering over that also gives a small explanation of what this setting does. Other than that, nothing has changed about settings. Let's see. I have actually, let's close this. I've fixed a few little bugs and made a few code changes that I'm not going to go over because it would just take a long time. It would be very technical. But I have 2 more things to show, and these are pretty exciting. So you can see there's a default stinger button, play default stinger button here. And now a stinger animation is usually used in TV broadcasts, but also in tournament streams to show off some cool animation, to transition into another scene, into another camera angle, into the gameplay. So there now is a default animation of this. It is also an HTML file, just like the scoreboards, and it communicates using the WebSocket. So if I click this button, what I'm going to do is this button is going to play that default stinger animation, and I'm going to switch scenes to show you what you could use this for. So replay the animation, and here we are in another scene. So what happened behind the scenes was this. But thanks to the stinger animation, I could cut most of that out, and I could distract you with, you know, this cool animation and some text. And that text, for now, it is HTML, and you can change it in the .html file of the stinger. However, I am going to make a stinger, default stinger manager, baked in to the Fighting Games Manager. So that are all the important functionality changes that I wanted to show off. Now I'm going to show something off that is not entirely finished yet, but Livestream Production Manager version 0.6, excuse me, is going to coincide with something that I currently call Livestream Production Manager Blitz, but in the future it will be renamed to Livestream Production Manager Lit. And what that is, this is a Electron-based client to Livestream Production Manager. You can see it's like a browser window, but it has some of the browser things stripped out. I actually have a video somewhere where I properly explain what all this is. But this is basically a client to Livestream Production Manager that adds additional functionality because it is a hybrid desktop app. And the most important one is actually, let's do Tekken. Is actually that this Livestream Production Manager Blitz is compatible with the Elgato Stream Deck. Now I'm going to show something off. So I'm going to click the Get Latest button, the Get Latest Values button, using my Elgato Stream Deck. So let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's see, that was the wrong one. This is the right one. There we go. I just got the latest values that were saved to a file using my Elgato Stream Deck. You might have heard me press the buttons. Now I'm going to click Switch Competitors, and I'm currently switching the competitors around using a button on my Elgato Stream Deck. Now I'm going to submit. Using another button, I'm going to increase the score and submit again. So I'm controlling Livestream Production Manager with my Elgato Stream Deck. This is not currently, as far as I know, not possible using a default Chrome browser, Firefox browser. You really need to program it into a hybrid desktop app client to get this to work. And I think it's almost ready. I think it's ready. I think I'm ready to release Livestream Production Manager 0.6 and release Blitz 0.6. However, I am considering something. I am considering putting this behind a paywall of subscribing to my Twitch channel. If you subscribe once to my Twitch channel, you have access to Livestream Production Manager Blitz for now. I am considering it. It's not set in stone. I'm not going to force it immediately. I'm still thinking about it, and I want feedback about that. If that is a good idea, if that is something you're willing to do. But everything else, Livestream Production Manager has always been free and will always be free. So this has been Gugog7 with the Livestream Production Manager version 0.6 update. Thank you all very much for watching. I know it was very long, but it's just a huge update. A lot of good new features that I'm very excited for. And yeah, that's it. Thank you all very much for watching. And I'll see you guys. I'll see the people who subscribe for Mario Kart with a Mario Kart video next. And the people who are into Livestream Production Manager will get their version 0.7 video in the future somewhere. I've been very busy with my own tournaments. So thank you all for watching. See you guys then.